Hey, people, let me start this out with teaching you how to say shit your pants in ancient Hebrew and in ancient Greek and in the language of King James, the ones having been devastated by a free release. A free release of feces, a turd, and the trousum in whose your pants, and the trousum in whose in a feces, and shit your pants, and passing a fart. So these were some of the easier words to read, and this one's a little more difficult, but this is passing a giraffe on. And so the second G is reading as an I. It's the Giraq. And the your giraffe on. And so the ancient word for a giraffe is a fart. It comes from this word, the camel, and of, and fart. F-A-R. The D and the T interchange. I know that's the fart, because you can see it in the definition. Large African mammal with very long neck and 4 legs. And that's the camel, and having a coat patterned with brown patches, a fart. And so it's it's a giraffe on and a dick on. And that's like a dictate is to put it out there, and a dicky on is to take it down. You see here in older writings, it meant down. And what it means is, when somebody's taking dictation, they're putting it down, but they're shrinking the words down. And a great way to do this with a giraffe or a camel leopard, just call it a fart. And your camel on, a dicky on, a shorthand, and dia spa, and through a spa. And spa meaning drew, and dia through, and through drew, through drawn. And so, the whole word here takes both of these words to say fart. And they knew what a fart was, but that would just be uncivilized. So through the trousers, has, and a feces, a passing, a giraffe on, a dickon, the giraffe shorthand, a fart, through draw. I think I get the rest of these words in here too. It's a little longer. But this first word, is just redneck, and it's witchy tooey. Witchy tooey. Which you ought to do is what this comes from. And witchy tooey oughtn't. Witchy tooey oughtn't. Which something that you shouldn't do. Witchy tooey oughtn't. And so this word can be changed up with this next letter here, because witchy tooey oughtn't, something you oughtn't, is witchy tooey ought have. It's changing this N into the B, V, E-V, and witchy tooey ought have, something he should have did. In witchy tooey ought of go, it selects some in. And so it was talking about the diet and fasting just before this, And witchy tooey ought of go, it selects some in. And then the double N here. So this is reading as an I or a J, a gestian, and what is selexum in a gestian, what you ingesting, what you eating, and ledge they, and says they, curious Allalu. And so, this is Lord Allah, and Allah is A-L-I, Ali, high, and to the curious high, the high Lu. Lu would be the English word for the bathroom. And the curious Allalu. Pon to, and sindusum on a dickiaz dalu. Dalu is easy, apart, or to break up, to dilute something. A dickiaz, to take down, dilute, to water it down. And so, sindusum on, this is the same place your word Cinderella comes from. It's the waste product, a syndis. And Cinderella's an ancient Greek story while living in Egypt. And it was known as the ash tree girl. So that's some of the medicine stashed in there. A Cinderella, Ella, girl, and a cinder, a woman employed to clean the Ella and to clean, especially remove ash from stoves, a fireplace, the cinder. The dross, slag. Cinderella's sister was Drusilla. She was even worse than Cinderella. The impurity, partially or mostly burnt material. The used up. All aloo upon to syndismon, to eject the burnt, to eject the used up materials. Syndism on adicus, to put down, dilute. This strange alias, the STRA, and the G following the A becomes the N, and strange, perverseness, and the strange other name for the alias by A. John. And when I get back to job, I'll show you, that the aliases were also the letters or numbers. And so sometimes they have a strange alias, and it's due to their time by the age on the number. Like job means 19. Synali animation. Synali, together, high animation, and animation. And apostle, and yet a trousen in as. And so apostle, post is, you nail your sign out there on the post for everybody to see. And a post is not for everybody to see. You can put your message out to just a certain place in a postal. And then the second L turned to a Y, yet. And a postal, yet, and not yet. And so, not hidden yet. A postal, not hidden yet. The trousen in who's in a feces, and a pass on su giraffe in a dickon, die, draw, through draw. And so a strange alias by A. John is a diarrhea. By the A. John, you writing according to the time in your diary is a strange alias. And so your trousers and your drawers, it's the same word, the T or the D, either way. And a postal, it draws them in who's and sent out in your pants in a feces. A passing, a fart, through draw. And witchy tooey ought of go, it's time to go. It's selexum ingestion. Says they, Lord Allah, Lord Allah, toilet. Upon to senda-ism on, to senda-ism on, to send them on, the trash, to get rid of the trash, on, to take down, dilute, a strange alias by A. John, the diary. Synali animations, together all a high animation, and a postally, a po, away, a po, a post, and a waste it, a waste, and a wastel, yet it draws them in as, in the feces, a passing, su giraffe, a dickion, to take diction, and through draw. And so it's easier in the Hebrew here, and just to tell you where the word the loo come from, and it's where you lose it some, not this the fast running to the bathroom, and the lose it some of her who, and then this is path, It's always, I always say it's the doorway to open. And it's also pitch. You know, your opening line is your pitch. And the lose it's some of her who a pitcher its butt. A pitch, the second H reading is an I. You know, a PTCHIR. TS. The pitcher its butt. Are so, and the E following the O becomes the Vav, V or W. And are so a trend, a TRA, and the G is the N after the A. A trend what? Are so a trend what? Moot a sail. Moot is not heavy. Moot is lightly, to quiet. Don't want everybody to hear the moot to sail. To let it go lightly, quietly, to moot to sail. The rutsy whatsum. The rutsy whatsum chipsum. You know, chips, cow chips, little poopies. And the rutsy whatsum. The skid marks. Rutsy whatsum. The chipsum. A call. A moot it intake. To moot it intake. It don't smell good. To a call, to eat, to breathe, to moot the intake, to hold your breath in every yoke that you break, and a call moot the intake. The lose it's some of her who picture it's in what are so trend what moot a sail, rutsy whatsum chipsum. A call, a moat it intake. And so it looks like the pitcher it's in what is the pot that you shit in. The pitcher it's in what. And the lose it's some of her who pitcher it's in what. To shit in the pot. And so the loo is just playing on the words. But this, you know, the lose it some. And so the pot is evil, the wickedness. And the pitcher it's in what are so. You know, what's in there is wicked. Are so. Are so a trend what? A moat, a sail, to quietly fart. Where women don't like you to hear them go to the bathroom. And the trend of what moots the sail. And the rutsy what's, and the skid marks in your drawers. And the rutsy what's a chipsum. A cell mooted intake. So a couple years ago, somebody asked me to look at the Quran, and I spent a day learning that language, and it didn't take long at all to figure out that the whole Quran was copied off the wall of the bathroom. And you can't say much more for the Bible, you know, it's stories of the loo. So this is one line in the Greek and the Hebrew, and it takes me 15 minutes to do one line, so I'm going to cut this off here, and I'll get another line out in the next movie. A good day.